So a couple things I'm going to start working on here this evening. First, I got to jack it up, get this tire off so I can get to the brakes. So I can start putting the disc brake on there with a handbrake. And then another thing is this grill. It's only got 2 bolts holding it in, one on each side. I'm going to take it off, put some plates on it. That way I can bolt it with 2 bolts, make it nice and sturdy. And finally put the hood on, and hopefully the hood clears everything. I don't know if it will yet. We'll find out. So this is the original brake on this rear. And the way it works is it has this shoe that goes around it. And when you pull the original lever, it tightens that shoe up onto the spinning cylinder. But we're going to do away with that. We're going to put a disc brake with a caliper and a handbrake that has hydraulic on it. So in the meantime, I'm just going to get all this ripped apart so I can see what I need to make that disc work on this spindle. So the factory shoe came off. It was just 2 bolts, held it on, and actually had access holes in the frame rail. So you get right to it. Now I have this brake, I guess it'd be a drum. I have that situated, and right underneath there's a set screw. I'm gonna go ahead and climb down there and show you guys that. So I cracked that Allen loose with a 3/16. Let's see if I'm feeling lucky. Nope, not feeling lucky at all. I'm gonna have to get something to pull this out. Keep that attached most likely. See what I can come up with. I ended up using this 3-jaw plier tool, probably 3-jaw puller tool with an impact socket, and it pulled it right off. Good to go there. The key is still on there. It looks to be a 1-inch shaft. Not entirely sure. I think I may have an extra pulley I can put over that. I was hoping there'd be a way to save this and bolt the rotor to it. It's not going to be, but I think I have a spindle that'll fit on this shaft that can potentially bolt that rotor or weld the rotor to. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the frame where the grill is sitting. It goes all the way back to the bend. Go over here. I'll do the same thing. Mark the front where it's sitting. Mark the back. Just so I have a rough idea where it needs to go. So the plate will work out for 2 things. The 2 bolt holes, and then I also have to space it up. There's a washer in between it right now, but I have to space it up in order for this to be tall enough for the hood to have the right angle to the actual dash of the mower. So I mark the frame, I'll measure that, I'll cut 2 plates, and I'll get them prepped up, weld them on, drill some holes, and should be good. So I got my metal plates cut. I have them mocked up on there. I'm going to use my white pencil that I got. I'm going to circle the original hole underneath, drill that hole, and then I'm going to bolt them on, mock up where the grill needs to go, trace where the other hole needs to go. I'll take them off, drill the second hole, and then I will run a bead around this with the welder and weld that on. That way it's a nice solid piece, and I'll have a spot to put a hole, and it'll be spaced up the correct amount for the hood to fit. Got my holes drilled in my brackets. I got them bolted to the frame. I could do it the really nice way and clean up all the paint and go about it that way and make it nice and pretty and then weld it. But I think what I'm going to do is just crank the heat up on the welder and see if I can burn it in without even taking the paint off, because I'm a hack. This whole thing has been hacked together, so might as well, why stop now? They aren't the prettiest things you'll ever see in your life, but they should hold it on there. Now I gotta run to the old Tractor Supply to get 2 more bolts, because I don't have those. Everything I have is too short. So, be back shortly. Got the grill, the hood mounted on. I had to cut the inner support out of the hood. That kept the width because it was hitting my gas tank where I got it mounted. But now, got the hood mounted. Grill's mounted solid, nice and rigid. Starting to actually look more like a mower. And on top of that, I got clearance for days, as in minutes. Not a whole lot of room there. I think the engine's actually holding it out just a little bit, but it'll be all right. Now I just gotta wait on the part for the brake to get here. That's supposed to be Thursday. I'm filming this on a Tuesday. Battery's charged up. I still have to make mounts for the seat. There's only 2 bolts holding that in right now, but one thing at a time. So after cutting through all the holes, we now have enough clearance that it'll work. And just to be sure, if I wanted to switch this around and put this down further, still enough clearance. So if I wanted to get it closer, I can, or if I wanted it to be further away like it was originally, I have plenty of clearance. I just gotta work on making the bracket for the caliper now. It's not pretty, but this is the bracket I've whooped up for my thing, for the brake on the rear of this axle. And so I got 2 holes there where the caliper bolts in. Those are access holes, so I can bolt it on in the factory spot. It's still a little hot, so I'm grabbing it with that. So the caliper bolts on here, disc goes on here, and fits pretty decent. So I'm gonna go get it bolted up on the mower and see how it works. So after the test drive, this did not do well. I think a lot of it's just for a mini bike, and it's just held in with rubber versus actually having some sort of solid bolt. So I'm gonna order an ATV caliper, a go-kart rotor, and yeah, I'll get back to you guys on this because this looks terrible. Dug right through the aluminum. I did put a handle on it, welded a handle so that I have the brake handle here. It's pretty solid. It drove good, and the brakes worked halfway okay until they didn't. So that's it for that video. We'll get back to you.